My name is Palicka, and what will be the point of this presentation? Well, animations is kind of wide term, and to get an idea where we're heading, I prepared this animation in After Effects, and I want to show you the workflow, from the designer perspective, and also demonstrate like what's long-hanging fruit for the designers. So how can we grab some resources, and how can we create this kind of animations? And later on, this talk will be slightly more focused on the developer's point of view. And you should have an idea after that what kind of format to choose and how to integrate this kind of animations into your app. Well, it will be also nice to mention that we already discussed the motion design thingies and animations in our UI/UX meeting. So you can probably expect more motion designs in the near future. And the motivation is probably, you can read it, just think if you agree with that. If you agree with Wamsi Bachu. Well, honestly, I agree, but I not 100% sharing this idea. I like some websites or apps or games also with all imperfections. When it breaks something cool, what is touching my emotions? Well, I'm human, so this is kind of obvious. And in the development, once we hit the point where when all functional requirements are fulfilled, and we have nice QA team which kind of guards that point, we can focus on the at least few cool thingies, which gives users some visual feedback, which is cool and which is maybe playful and makes some emotions, and just hit the point where you are more personal and like have character. So honestly, the best point will be if we will be able to tell the stories. That will be hilarious. I know in our area it's kind of hard. We are not doing the games, we are doing the apps or websites, but at least Salsita websites in a good way to do it, to tell the stories. And yeah, basically that's the motivation why we are talking about animations today. And right now I would like describe you just shortly the designer's workflow. And basically it's pretty simple. You just need some assets, then you spend the most of the time with editing those assets, and there is some integration into the app. So that first column, basically those websites give you plenty of the resources. Then the editors, you can pick one, but honestly, After Effects is de facto standard for the motion design. And the thing why most motion designers use it is because the most of the resources are already projects for After Effects. So, for example, Figma allows you to animate somehow your prototypes, but it's missing timeline. Also, XD missing the timeline. For example, InVision has timeline, which kind of allows you to do this such of thingies, but After Effects is currently the leader. But honestly, it's kind of overkill to use After Effects on tiny animations. It's kind of big tool, and Adobe already knows that, and Adobe introduced a couple of more tools. For example, Adobe Animate is kind of lightweight and allows you to animate things very easily. But the problem is you cannot import that After Effects projects into the Animate and use all of those resources there. So most of the work will be focused on the After Effects, and then there is there are some ways how to integrate the output into your app. Well, let's talk back about that animation on the beginning. It was pretty simple to do it. I just used mobile typeface and created in the After Effects in half an hour. And honestly, this first part took me kind of short time, but the second part to export it, that animation from the After Effects, and later on integrated into that, it could be kind of longer because you use some plugins and you need to export it. And well, I spent probably 2 hours to trying to export it for web, but there are some errors or those things. So the second part could be also kind of challenging. Well, now I would like focusing what's after the After Effects, and tell a little bit more about the technologies which are available for integrating animations into the app. So this will be right now slightly more focused on developers. And basically those main techniques are available for us. I'm gonna start from the end. There is Canvas and WebGL. Well, honestly, I have no idea if there is a tool which gives you easy way how to export those animations from After Effects and, for example, export it into the Canvas, or any other tools which allows you to export it from the some visual editor, because as you are motion designer, you need some visual tool which allows you to do it fast and simple. You don't want to be programmer. Then the video, GIF, APNG, WebP, all of those are rasters. So nowadays, almost all UI are vectors. So that's silly. And those two, CSS transition and animations, and SVG plus SMIL, those are really excellent for micro animation, micro interactions. The first one, you probably know it, like all that hover effects, the tiny animations in the UI. We love it. And I want to mention the handover is pretty crucial for that, because, for example, Figma doesn't support all cool features what are available in CSS. So you're not able to do some certain things. And on the other hand, you could easily enable smart animate function in Figma and do such a complex animation just on a few clicks. And then if you will give that resources to developers, there will be definitely not pleased with that, because basically designers create something, then enable smart animate function on one click. It became crazy. Everything is animated, but for developers, it becomes nightmare. So please talk. I guess I mean like the designer and the developers, and tell the ideas what should be doable and what should be done. Well, about SVG and SMIL, this is a shortcut for synchronized multimedia integration language. This is the language which allows you to do animation with SVG. Everything is contained inside SVG, so you don't need any other files. Everything is inside one file. It's vector, easy to use. It supports also the events, so part of the SVG could react on hover, for example, or clicks. And honestly, that's prepared for tiny animation, and in same time, it could carry almost a whole movie. Not like that, not like that. But some complex animations is definitely doable to do it with SVG. What's pretty nice on a SMIL is that you can animate shapes. So if you have inside SVG path, reduce that D, that shape, or a circle with a radius, You can animate it with SMIL, and that's not a way what CSS allows you to do, because we still don't have SVG in version 2. With then it will be doable, but for now we are not able to animate everything, all attributes in the SVG with CSS. So for me, this could be ideal format for the animations, but there are a couple of more problems. HTML and CSS goes in with crazy speed to the forward, but SVG is kind of slow. The new thingies doesn't appear in SVG and inside the SMIL so often. So also there is another problem that CSS animations and transitions share same browser engine as Web Animations API. And there is an idea that SVG plus SMIL should use the same engine, but we are not there yet. So hopefully the progress will be even faster once that SVG and SMIL will use the same engine, same browser engine, and all changes in the browsers will be way faster. So with all of those, I say the GIFs stay with us forever. It's pretty simple. Everyone's love GIFs because it's easy to work with them, and you don't need anything special. I guess that SVG plus SMIL will be something similar, but just in matter of the vectors, but we are not there. And also the editor missing. You have not a nice option to work with some editor and then easily export it with SVG, with like animated SVG. Okay, what's next? Yeah, we didn't talk about JavaScript and Web Animations API. Just for an idea, if we're talking about animation with JavaScript, there could be GSAP. And if we are talking about the Web Animations API, there are tiny library called Motion One, which use that Web Animation API. The benefit of the Web Animations API is that it runs on a separate thread. So if the main thread with JavaScript is stuck, the animations are still fluent. But I just checked a couple of benchmarks, and you will be surprised that in most cases, JSAP is still faster than Motion One, which use that new Web Animation API. And another thingy is Lottie Files. And I guess for the animation, what I show you on the beginning, this is the best way, because with JSAP or Motion One, you are still programmer. If you would like create some nice animations, you need to manually program it, but that's not a fast enough. You would like create it visually. You would like just clicking by mouse and do the changes pretty fast. So you need something what allows you to extract the animations from the After Effects and then use it on the web. Well, we have Google Meet, so who use the computers, please hands up who work with the Lottie files. I will be curious on how many projects we use that. So if you can raise your hand. Oh, nice, Lukáš. Okay, probably more people. I know we use Lottie files also on the record set. It was a while ago. And now I would like to focus on the Lottie files. So the developer's workflow is pretty simple. You need basically the multiplier, which is just npm package, and then the JSON with the source data. as a Lottie player, you have multiple options. There is the Lottie Web, the official plugin. I used on Carrera React Lottie player. That was almost 1 year ago, and I checked it a couple of months ago when I need to use it on Allwin. But it seems the drag Lottie player is kind of outdated and not maintained well. So I used Lottie React, which basically create component from what you can use easily. So there is Lottie component and with attribute, which is that source data, the JSON, and there could be more parameters. So it's pretty simple to use it then in React. And about the JSON with the source data, um, the workflow is kind of easy. How you can grab this JSON, and this should be more on the designer side. But to get an idea how to grab the JSON from the After Effects, in the After Effects you have body moving plugin, and in body moving plugin you can pick the options what you want and export it as JSON. The JSON contains SVG, then the instructions how to animate those shapes, and there could be also the other resources such as audio or some raster graphics or whatever. Well, with those two thingies, you are basically, yeah, there is everything what you need. I want to mention that it could work also on the other way. So you can import that JSON to After Effects. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure if that will works in all cases. So, for example, on Allwin, I included into the project, into the Git repository, also that After Effects projects, because I kind of, if anyone else jump into the project and would like edit these animations, I would like make it simple as possible for that people. So I included, even if that's binary file and repository grows, yeah, and it's not the best practice. So potentially you could use just that JSON files into the project, and you will be also able to re-import it back into the After Effects, edit it, and export it again and use it. But kind of choose that option with including After Effects files into the project, which is not nice in some, yeah, in some manner. Well, some summary. Think about the handover, because motion designer is not every time the same person as a developer. Think about the time, because drawing animations is way faster than programming animations. And this was short intro into the animations. Uh, I would like ask you who work with the After Effects. You can raise your hand again. Oh, beautiful. So, like, what's next? Please, if you are curious, you can ask the people who already know that After Effects. So I know that Lukáš used the Lottie animations on One ID. It's pretty nice. For example, when you need to scan your ID with your mobile phone, it's pretty nice to see that animation. You immediately understand it. Then Katarina already played with the After Effects, what I know, and also Filip Najmanovic, he has plenty of experience with After Effects. So those persons, probably way more person already tried. So those will be people who can help you later. Okay. Any questions? Alfred, do you want to share your screen?
Checking to see. I don't think that there's any questions, but hold on. Yeah, no questions at the moment, Robin.
Yeah.
Anybody
So
live in the club want to ask a question, or anybody online? All right. Thanks very much, Robin.
okay, I thank you. Have a nice afternoon.
Hold on.
Sorry, it muted us automatically. When you do the animations in After Effects for Alvin, like what kind of animations are these? Because it seems to me like it would be hard to animate, like page transitions and stuff wouldn't work with that workflow, right? It would need to be like some big isolated animation somewhere on the page. Is that right?
Yeah, that's a good point. On the Alvin, we use tutorials and guides which kind of teach you how to use that. So for each step, I prepare some tiny animation. Just imagine SVG icons, and those icons are animated. So usually that onboarding tours and tutorials are kind of boring. So I would like put there some element which is like visually appealing, which do something like silly maybe. So bring some emotions into that boring tutorials will be nice from my point of view. So just imagine SVG icons which are animated, so nothing really big.
All right, yeah, thanks. That makes sense. Anyone else? Apparently not. All right, well, thanks again, Robin. Great presentation. And I think we're done.
Okay, thank you.